let's explore layers in Photoshop. Let's start by downloading our hamburger. Click on this hyperlink right here. It should open up down here in your browser tray. Go ahead and click on it. It'll open it up in Photoshop, and then let's save it into our storage folder on our hard drive. The next thing I'm going to want to do is let's zoom in. Control 0, and that'll fit in window. Double click up here, and if you haven't figured this out already, you can collapse and expand each of these panels by double clicking here. So see on my layers panel, if I come over here to this open area, if I double click, that'll collapse it. If I double click again, it'll expand it. So the reason I'm doing that is I really want to focus here on the layers panel. Now, you don't need to do this, but for me, I'm going to go ahead and click and drag out my layers panel so that it's a little bit more obvious, and we can talk about each of the different areas within the layers panel. So that's what we're really going to focus on. So here we have our stacks of different parts of the hamburger. First, see the eyeball in the far left-hand corner? If you click on those eyeballs, you can hide each individual layer. So try that, working your way down until the burger's gone. Then go ahead and click and build your burger back up. So that's important. Now if you want to isolate a single layer all at once, hold Alt down or Option on the Mac and click on an eyeball. That'll automatically hide all the rest of them and show that one. To bring all the rest of them back, hold Alt down and click on it again, and it'll bring all of them back. So practice that for a second, hiding, showing, and holding Alt down to isolate a single layer. Let's talk about rearranging. So for example, let's say I want my lettuce on top. I can click and drag and drop. So you can rearrange these layers. And it takes a little bit of practice. When you're clicking and dragging, you'll notice that there's these little lines that come up in between the layers. That indicates where the layer is going to be dropped. Practice that. Each of these top 6 layers here have some artwork on them and some areas of transparency. So for example, if I move this bun around, you can see that there's pixels or artwork here in this circle, but around the outside, that's see-through or transparent. And if you look closely at the thumbnail here, you can see this checkerboard pattern. Let me go ahead and hide the background, and you'll see the checkerboard pattern here on the stage as well. That checkerboard represents transparent areas or no pixels. You can create a blank or transparent layer at any time by coming up here to the layer menu, New Layer, or I typically come down here to my layers panel and just click on this little new layer button. That gives me a blank layer, and I'm going to double click on the text here to give it a name, and I'll call this face. Then I'm just going to grab my paintbrush and I'll draw a little smiley face in here. The cool thing about having it on its own layer, I'm going to go back to the move tool, is then I can move it, I can resize it. And if later I decide, you know what, I don't really like that, I can either throw it away by right-clicking and choosing Delete Layer, dragging it to the trash can down here at the bottom, or selecting the layer and pressing the trash can. That will delete the layer. So having the ability to create blank layers is really powerful. Now let's wrap this up by playing around with making something look cool here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a flower out of this. Let's resize. Remember, the keyboard shortcut for resizing proportional is Shift. So let's resize that. And we're going to make a circle of buns here. So the first thing I wanted to show you, let me check that. First thing I wanted to show you is a really quick way of making a copy of a layer. If I hold Alt down or Option on a Mac and drag the bun, it'll make a copy of it. Try that a couple times. So I'm holding Alt down and dragging. So that's a really quick way of making a whole bunch of copies. And you can see on my layers, I now have 4, 3, 2, top bun, copy and top bun. That's a really quick way of making things. You can see how this could quickly get out of hand though, if you continued to do this. One way to deal with not having quite so many layers is to combine some of those layers. Let me show you how to do that. Let's take the top 4, leave the original bun alone, and let's leave the top 4 here, or select a few of them. It doesn't really matter exactly how many. And right-click on the layers when they're selected. And by the way, I selected them by clicking on the first one, holding Shift down, and clicking on the fourth one. I didn't want to get my top bun. I wanted just the copies. I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to choose Merge Layers. And that's going to make them all one object. So you can see that's a quick way of kind of taking up less room in your layers panel. Now let's practice a little bit more though, because there's another cooler way to do it. Let's go ahead and grab the top bun again, hold Alt down, and we'll do the other half of this circle. All right. Now what if I want to do this non-destructively? Because once I put all these together, I can't move them around individually. They're kind of locked together. So another way to do this in a way that's not destructive, or you can go back and change later, is to make a group out of these. So I'm going to click on the first one, hold Shift down, and click on the last one. And this time I am including my original. And then you come over here to your Layers Panel Options button, the upper right-hand corner, and choose New Group from Layers. I'll call this Buns. You can see now it puts everything into a folder. I can hide, I can select and move it around or resize it. I could play around with the opacity. Anything that you could do with a normal layer, you can do with a group as well. And if I decide I want to change one of the individual things, I can twirl that folder open and go in there and work with the individual pieces. So you can see how that gives you a little bit more flexibility by using groups. All right, let's grab the tomato and let's throw that up on top. Make sure you don't get it into the folder. Now, if you accidentally throw it in the buns folder, you can always just twirl that open and pull it out, either on top or on bottom. So I'm going to throw it out of the folder. Let's grab the meat. We'll throw it on top of the tomato. Let's practice resizing something. I'm holding Shift to do it proportionally. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you, let me check this, is layer style. So we're going to go into adjustments in the next section or next day. We're going to talk about masks when we get into adjustment layers. So let's just talk about layer styles real quickly. These are really cool. I love using them. Select the meat layer, come down here to the FX button, that's the layer styles button, and let's give it a stroke. So that's a quick and easy one to show you. You can play around with the distance of the stroke or size of the stroke right here, the color of the stroke. I think the default is black, so I'll make mine blue just so that it's really obvious. You can play around with the opacity of the stroke, whether it's inside, and that's going to look kind of weird with this. It's centered, or definitely on the bun, we're going to want to choose outside. You can combine different layer styles. So right now I have a stroke. I could add a drop shadow. You could add a couple different types of layer styles and go ahead and hit OK. So now we've made a little hamburger flower. Let's go ahead and save this and turn it in. So we're going to go to File and Save. And that way we can continue to play around with the layers. When you save something as a Photoshop file, you have the layers, you can continue to work with all of these things. Once you save it as another file type like a JPEG, which we're going to do now, it flattens everything. And that JPEG can't be edited. The Photoshop file can still be edited, but not the JPEG. So let's go to File, Save As, and from this drop-down, choose JPEG. Now, why choose JPEG if it becomes uneditable? We choose JPEG because that's a way that it's great for sharing with other people and turning in for your teachers, putting on the web, emailing, those kind of things. Somebody doesn't have to have Photoshop to be able to do it. Let's type in our last name and then hamburger flour. Hit save. Now when this save option comes up, JPEG option, I always choose highest quality. So grab this quality and just crank it all the way up to the very top, hit OK, and you are done.